Welcome back to Living Local. The Black Box Theater will present yet another area premiere with Agatha Christie's The Stranger, which opens on Friday. And here to tell us all about it is frequent area performer and one of the best in the business. I know you don't want me to say it, but it's true. Mr. James Driscoll, how are you, man?
I'm well. Thank you for having me on the show.
I am thrilled that you're here. You're one of my favorite actors in the area, of course. And I'm always thrilled when you're in a project because you elevate it to something that probably couldn't have been before you walked in the room, so that's great. So this piece is an adaptation of a short story by Agatha Christie, so tell us about the show.
Well, it's Agatha Christie, so it's a psychological thriller, not a musical comedy.
Which is great.
Yes. The basic premise in a nutshell, beautiful young woman throws away her fiancé of 7 years to run off with a stranger that she met just 24 hours before.
It happens.
The stranger, though, has a secret. So what could go wrong? Huh?
Yeah, what could go wrong? I'm sure lots of things will go wrong. But what is so striking about this piece? Because I know you've done a lot of murder mysteries. You just did Death Trap last fall. What is it about this that, because it wasn't performed for a long time, right? It's relatively new.
And when Laura Adams read the script, she's the founder and director of the show at the Black Box Theater, she instantly thought, well, you know, this is perfect script for doing as a radio play, which is how we're presenting this.
Yes.
But as far as it being striking for this area, you said it was a premiere for the area.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. I mean, Murder on the Nile, and then there were none, a witness for the prosecution. Everyone's seen those movies, seen those shows, but The Stranger hasn't been done around here. Hasn't been done anywhere for a while, and that makes it interesting for the audiences because they get to see something new.
Yeah.
They don't know the ending. They get to come into the show, watch the actors doing the performance, and try and pick out the clues to see if they can figure out the surprise ending before they actually get it handed to them.
I always love seeing brand new things because I don't know anything going in. But you know, with Agatha Christie, she does things so well that even if you know, like in Mousetrap, for instance, even if you know that twist that's coming, it still always surprises you a little bit because she's so good at it. So I'm excited to figure out what this surprise might be. But let's talk about the cast. Who would viewers recognize? Obviously, you are in it.
I am in the show, and if your audience is familiar with local community theater, they've probably seen all the faces that they're going to see on stage at the Black Box Theater.
Sure.
But they will not have seen them at the Black Box Theater. I mean, these people have been at Genesius Guild, Playcrafters, Music Hill, Richmond Hill Theater, New Athena Players. But 4 out of the 6 are making their debut performances at the Black Box Theater, and I credit Laura Adams for that. Not only does she like to do area premieres for shows, but she likes to bring in new faces, new voices. It keeps it interesting for the audiences.
Well, and she's one of those people too. If she asks you to do something, you say sure.
Can't say no to Laura.
Yeah, no, you can't, and you shouldn't because she's one of the best. So give us all the details. When is the show playing, and how can viewers get tickets?
Well, we open tomorrow night, Friday the 14th. We have performances Friday, Saturday evening, Sunday matinee. This weekend, next weekend, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday evening performances and a Sunday matinee. The easiest way to get tickets is to go to theblackboxtheater.com and purchase them online. And there are no extra surcharges or fees when you buy tickets at the Black Box Theater online,
that is
which I like.
Yeah, that's a great thing to mention.
They also accommodate walk-ups. You know, if you are making a last-minute decision about what to do one of those evenings and you want to see a show, stop by the theater. I'm sure Laura Adams will be able to squeeze you in.
Yeah, well, and it's a really cool. It's a really cool theater to see a show and to experience something like that. And I love it when she does the radio plays because I think they're very clever on how she does the sound effects and everything else. And it's such a cool thing.
60 seats, intimate space.
Intimate, yeah.
You can see the expressions, every expression on every actor's faces because there's only 3 rows of audience, so they're only 6 feet away. You can practically reach out and touch.
And yet the audience can hide from you and you can't hide from the audience.
True.
So you have to be a little more authentic. Do you have a favorite moment from this show?
I do. But it's a spoiler. It's an Agatha Christie, so I'm not going to give you that one.
That's okay.
That was a setup question from Tristan. I'll give you my second favorite.
Great.
Even though it's not a musical comedy, one of the ladies in the cast does break into song a cappella. And sings "Dance with a Stranger," which kind of plays in with the title of the show. And I really love hearing her belt out the tune.
I bet. And you know, you've done it quite a bit at the Black Box, haven't you?
I've been on stage there a few times with Mockingbird on Main when we did To Kill a Mockingbird.
Well, you were the Atticus Finch. You can't just gloss over that.
But my last show, Dial M for Murder,
Yeah.
was a Black Box Theater production with your spouse, Savannah Bay.
Yes, yes.
And over the years, I try and do shows there. It's an intimate space. Laura always has excellent production values. The sets are striking, the costumes are there, the sound effects, the lighting. It's really a wonderful place to come see a show and to be in a show.
And you've done some of the most iconic roles over the years. I mean, Atticus Finch, for instance. Is there one that you still want to play? Like, is there an iconic role out there that you're like, man, I just haven't got that one yet? Because, I mean, you did Jessup in A Few Good Men. You've done, I mean, what haven't you done that you're like, oh, that's on my list?
You really want to know?
I really do.
Because now that my hair's tending towards white and I'm getting to the senior statements kind of age, maybe someday I'd like to do On Golden Pond and try that Henry Fonda role.
Yeah.
With a strong leading lady, I think it would be fun to do.
On Golden Pond. Well, you heard it from here. Yeah, he wants to do On Golden Pond. So somebody get that. Yeah, that's a great show too.
It is. Classic.
Yeah. Have you done Long Day's Journey into Night yet?
I have not. I've talked with Mike Schultz, your previous guest, about if he ever manages to get one of the local community theaters to do that show, I want him to let me know when the auditions are, because I would love to be in that production with him as a director.
That's on my list of things to produce at some point. I did it years and years ago, but it's been a long time. I'd love to do that.
Classic show, but on the long side.
But beautiful script.
Beautiful
My gosh,
script.
Beautiful script. Well,
iconic.
Thanks for being here. And again, The Stranger is this weekend, right? Opens
this
Friday.
This weekend, Friday, tomorrow night.
Okay, and you get your tickets at the Black Box Theater.
2 weekends only.
All right. Well, hey, man, thanks so much for coming in, James.
Thank you very much, Tristan.
Hey, for more information and tickets, you can visit theblackboxtheater.com. We'll have all those details posted at ourquadcities.com.